Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Kim.
And I'm Lola, and welcome back again to Turn the Page. If you're just joining us, stop. You have to listen to episode 2A or plot points won't make much sense. So pause here and go listen to part A of our Ashes and the Starcast King discussion so that it will make more sense.
Plot points continued. Following on from 2A, remember, like Lola said earlier, if you don't listen to 2A, this ain't gonna make no sense. So go back and listen to that episode and then come back and meet us here. So where were we? Oh yeah, Rain was nearly cooked alive under the sun by Simon and Septimus, and Arise swooped in like a baddie, dark angel baddie, to save him. After the rescue, Araya and Rain regroup. They have no one they can trust at the moment, so they end up in the human region so that Rain can heal up. And I'm pretty sure that there is a sex scene here. I'm pretty sure there is. I can't remember. I think there was, but it seems a bit weird for there to be a sex scene because I'm pretty sure he was like mash up. Was there a sex scene here?
I can't remember. I skipped all of the sex scenes. Or skimmed them.
So yeah, just like read through quick. Do you know one thing I must admit that I hate that they say it all the time? Ix's tits. Rain will say Ix's tits. And I'm just like, and maybe it's because I was listening to the audio version. So every time it was Rain's POV, it'll be a male voice, and the male voice is like, Ix's tits. And I'm just like, oh, shut up. But anyways, back to where we are. So thoughts turn to Mish. They need to get her again. They need to save her again. Bless her. She's always getting saved. So saving Mish, also they need to save Vale, Lilith, and Keturah. So they practically go through the sewers to save a team because that's the only way to get into the castle unannounced, because I believe Vincent taught Araya about the sewers. So she was able to get in that way. Rain and Araya separate. Araya goes to find Mish, and Rain goes to find Vale, Lilith, and Keturah in the prisons. Poor Mish was being imprisoned in a room to be served to the Prince of the Shadowborn vampires, and we find out that he once enslaved, abused her. I think he turned her and then just left her for dead, and that's when Rain found her. So as soon as Araya frees her, like we turn around the corner. Go on.
When at the start of the wedding, everyone thought it was strange that he was there because the Shadowborns don't really get involved in the whole their sex. We haven't really got much info in. So, and then when Mish turned up, she acted strange, and we didn't really understand why until this moment.
It's true, because even now, do we know why he came? Because it can't just be because of Mish. Was it something to do with being involved in an alliance with?
Yeah, I think he was part of this. Yeah, this
thing.
Plan. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because I was like, why was he there? So they've Arise freed Mish. They basically turn around the corner and bam, the prince is there. Mish loses it. She kills him, stabs him up, and she kills him instantly. So we have that happen. At this point, we're moving on to Rain, who has gone off to save Vale, Lilith, and Keturah, who were in the prisons. At this point, where is Kyrus? Do we hear about Kyrus at this point?
What do you mean?
Because obviously Kyrus is the one that betrayed him. The last time we see Kyrus is when he's taken him outside. We find out he's been involved in the plan to betray Rain. But do we actually see him here?
I don't remember. I finished this book way before you. I was trying to get you to read it for ages. I can't really remember the details like that.
Yeah, I don't think he was there, actually. I think we find him later, like right at the end. So they go there. Rain is fighting some soldiers. They're able to escape with all of them, and they escape the city. And this is where we meet up with our good old girl Jasmine, who has a small army of Hiyaj fighters. They're hiding out in some underground cave, which happens to have a sauna, and I'm pretty sure there's another sex scene here. Just because. So now we have this makeshift army of the Hiyaj fighters and Rain, Araya, Vale, Lilith, Keturah, and Mish. So the plan is that they want to fight Septimus, Simon, etc., and get their kingdom back. So they try to attack, which doesn't go well, as Simon has had the God's teeth embedded in him with a necklace. I think, that was the other thing. When Araya goes to save Mish, Misha is held up in Araya's room, if I'm correct. And we find out that her necklace, the necklace that we were talking about earlier, has gone missing. So now coming forward to where they try to do the first attack, Simon has this necklace on, as well as the God's teeth that have been embedded in his chest. So he's overpowered when he's fighting with Rain. Araya gets hurt again, obviously, because she's always getting hurt. Rain gets hurt, and it's not a success. They really struggle, and they have to retreat from this battle. So Rain gets Araya to the human region, and this is where we meet a human family member for Araya. We meet her auntie, her mum's sister. And this is where we get some background on her mum, who was a human seer or human priestess. And we find out more information about her.
Again, my memory of this is Rain trying to do this is, oh, look at this gift I've given you, your only living relative, who Vincent knew existed and didn't tell you about. But Rain, you knew too, and you didn't tell her for time until it was convenient for you.
So Rain knew about the auntie. I can't remember if he knew about her, or did she just come out of nowhere?
He said he found her and and all this stuff, because I'm pretty sure they were injured or something. That's why they had to go there.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, so when it served you, you let her know.
Talks a glove. So we find out her mum was working as a seer with Vincent to do something with the God's blood. And I don't know, Lola, if you remember what they were trying to do. But obviously they developed this relationship, and he falls in love with her. But for some reason, she now separates herself. She leaves him. Is it because she was pregnant? Is that why she left him?
So they were both mad scientists kind of thing, and just thirst for knowledge. It sounded like, and she didn't mind the stuff that they were doing, but obviously once she realized she was with child and what happens to children of vampires, that's why she was like, okay, I need to go away from you. Was my take on it.
Yeah, makes sense.
And then
it's always killing the lineage kind of thing.
And then the way that, and then the sister was like, but are you sure he's just going to let you go? And then she was like, yeah, because she just knew he loved her that much. So it's like, that's why I was like, this shows Vincent's like actually genuinely cared more than, and I think that was the whole point of the veil as well, to show that, there's like vampires are harsh, but there are some people that genuinely love. Like the whole point is that they don't love because they live for so long, but they are some people that genuinely do love.
So we have this happening. She finds out more about their relationship. Araya's auntie then tells her that, look, we've got humans that are ready to fight when needed, so they're going to join you guys. So we now develop or build up the army that that Rain and Araya have. They then decide to split up again when they now decide to fight again. So the other thing that the aunt says is that there is this cave of secrets, or is it a temple of secrets, where she'll be able to get more information about her mum and Vincent and get more information about the God's blood. So there's something that she needs to find in this cave. So they split up again. Rain goes to fight and hold off Simon, whilst Araya goes in alone to this cave where she goes through these psychological trials, where she's going through Vincent's memories and hallucinations about Vincent and how he's feeling about his relationship with Araya's mum. You start to hear the truth about his love, and like Lola says, to show that he did love Araya. It's not that, it's this whole plan to set her up. He did love her, and we go through his memories. Does Araya forgive him here? I think she does. I think she comes around to the idea, especially because she's been so anti-Vincent the whole time, but it seems like she comes around to the idea of, like, my dad isn't such a bad guy. So she comes out with the God blood pendant and she's ready to end this thing. She goes out into the battle, where Simon has basically taken over. He's just bodying everybody. He's supercharged with these god teeth that Septimus have given him. Septimus has disappeared. I think he's just run off. We don't see him. They try to fight again, and Rain dies. He gets killed. Or he's dying. So this has all happened, and we're in a situation again where Rain is dying and Araya needs to call to Nyaxia, the goddess, to save him. So Nyaxia turns up and Araya asks him, like, can you save him? Can you save his life? And she's like, look, he's already dying. Like, why do you keep trying to save this guy? And she's like, how about you give us this Coriatis bond? I'm pretty sure I'm saying that incorrectly. And Nyaxia refuses, because you need to remember that Rain is the Rishan heir and Araya is the Hiaj heir. So if you now have this Coriatis bond, you're now going to delete the two lines, and she doesn't want that, because supposedly, according to Araya, she seems to enjoy the divide between the Nightborn vampires. So Nyaxia is like,
that bond was also supposed to be the bond for her and Vincent. The whole point of her being in the Kajari. So, and Rain has spent this whole time saying how manipulative and exploitive that would have been for him to then, for her to then turn around and do this, because basically it's more than just a bond. They share their powers and they can't ever hurt each other. So Vincent wanted that just not for obviously to share the powers, but so that he could rely on the fact that they can never hurt each other. So that was why he wanted her to have that bond, but she just completely missed that and only saw it as manipulative, and he was so scared of her. Foolish. Anyway.
Here she is doing this for Rain, who I don't think... Yeah, and if you think about the way it's perceived, why would you do this? But like you said, anyway.
I don't know how that was supposed to save his life. I didn't know why.
Yeah, like why can't we just? Yeah, why can't we just save his life? Like why does it have to be this bond? Why can't we say to Nyaxia, you've got this power, can you raise him from the dead? Like, why does it have to be the bond?
Well, I guess said they did say that she tried to do that for her husband, whatever his name is, Alorus or whatever his name is, and it didn't work.
True, but. Yeah, so she says about the bond, and Nyaxia's like, nah, I can't do that. She's like, I can't do that for you. By the way, I didn't explain her entrance. When Nyaxia actually turns up, everything seems to go still, because remember, they're at war. They're fighting this big war with everybody versus the Rishan and the Bloodborne vampires. So that all goes calm for a minute. Simon actually gets killed by Nyaxia because she sees that he's got her dead husband's teeth embedded in him, and she's like, what the hell are you doing with these? So she actually kills Simon. So after going back to Araya asking for this I feel like I'm saying it incorrectly, this bond, and Nyaxia says, I can't do it. She leaves Araya with this cryptic message saying that she can't be the one to give the bond. So Araya then decides to pray to her mum's goddess, Akaja. And do you remember what she's the goddess of, love, Lola?
It's something like
time and
chaotic or something. It's something like goddess of unknown. It's something weird.
I can't remember what she was. Whilst you're double checking that, I'll carry on. And she turns up, and again, I don't know why she didn't.
Goddess of spellcasting.
There we go.
Fate. I don't know. It was Fate that was like something unknown. Fate and Lost Things, the goddess of spellcasting, because I don't think they ever said that one, but Fate and Lost Things.
Okay. Because I don't know why at this point, if Nyaxia is not going to do what you want, why not ask this new goddess to say like, hi, could you make him alive instead of this Coriatis bond? But no.
Yeah.
Because, why don't we try it again with another god?
Yeah, like, I don't understand why she even brought that up, because also you're asking her for something that, like, so their goddess of, like, the vampires aren't, the goddess and goddess of for humans, I thought. The rest of them are all for humans, and then the Nyaxia's like, and the goddess of death, and there's someone else that they, like, the goddess of demons. or whatever, the god of demons or whatever. So there's like there's actual people for other things, but the rest of them are for humans. So it's like, why would you even think of that? Yeah.
Well, it's her mum's goddess, so she thought, you know what, let's see if she can help.
Yeah, so the white pantheons, all humans worship them. So it's like Nyaxia is not part of the white pantheons.
Which is fair. So she went to her mum's goddess because remember, she's still part human. So that, I guess that probably makes sense why she thought to go there, because she now learned about who her mum is.
And do you know Alaris was Nyaxia's husband was the god of death?
Yeah.
Ironic. So it's like, why didn't you even pray? Well, you can't pray to him, I guess.
And because he's gone, I'm pretty sure he's dead.
Yeah.
So she decides to grant the bond, but she does warn them that Nyaxia won't be happy, that they will also have to fight for what's right. So, which I found was quite wishy-washy, especially if there's not going to be any more
of their story and nothing ever happened. So it's for some thunder and lightning during their actual wedding at the end. But what's it called? So the reason why it was like an affront, it was because the whole point of the first book was the story of Nyaxia, and we learned that the white pantheons didn't help her when she asked for help and all of that stuff. So she hates the white pantheon. So she's told you no, and you've gone and asked someone that she hates for help.
But I think also is the way she said it, when that's another thing that I was a bit like, why did you make it sound like Nyaxia was being cryptic when she left? Because it was kind of she was like, I can't be the one to give that bond, is something that she said. So it almost implied that I can't give it to you, but somebody else can. But then we find out that Nyaxia is going to be pissed if you did go to somebody else. It's almost like, why would she say that if she was going to be pissed? But you know what, guys? It doesn't really matter, because we don't know much more about Nyaxia being pissed, because we're getting to the end of the story.
Maybe it will come out in other bits, but I tried to Google, and apparently nothing like from this book comes up in the next two books.
This is it. Yeah, this is the end of their story. So the aftermath, Rain and Araya finally rule side by side. They're crowned king and queen with a very reluctant blessing from Nyaxia, because they do this ceremony, which is where they both give their blood, and Nyaxia is supposed to accept it. There's like a split second where she doesn't accept it quickly, which does imply that she's a bit pissed off, I guess. Mish decides she's going to leave on a journey, and we find out this is kind of like a setup for the next couple of books, because it's going to be Mish's story.
Because when she broke out of the castle, she killed the Shadowborn prince in a fit of blind rage, and so now she's like, which I thought was really ridiculous. Like, he's the casualty of war. There was a lot going on. How the hell are they going to know it was you? How would they put two and two together? But she's adamant that they're going to suss her out, that she's the one that killed the Shadowborn prince, and she's doing that whole thing of, let me sneak out in the middle of the night because I don't want to be a burden and cause more mayhem. Like, it's like, why would they know it was you? There was a whole war going on. So many people died. Like, no one even knows who you are.
And to be fair, Brain even says it. He's like, look, because I think they talk about it later. And Rain says like, "Oh, we'll probably just say so that when he said that, the Shadowborn vampires are casualty of war."
At the end, and then I found out that the next book's about her. So yeah, it's to set her up. But I was like, this is the weakest setup ever.
To be fair, this ending is very weak. I hate this ending. It was almost like, okay, let's just finish this now.
Disney ending, literally.
They also decide to keep Kyrus alive, but Rain decides that he's going to be imprisoned. Kyrus does this ominous thing of, I don't think it's over. Like, please believe me. I feel something's coming. And I was just like, okay, what's
the point
coming?
Of this if we're going to move on? But I guess because we're moving to the Shadowborns now.
Yeah, it's true. Maybe in the next couple of books, we'll find out what happens. But I was a bit
because it was weird.
Kyrus.
Why was the Shadowborn there?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like, why was Prince there? And Septimus has buggered off. They're trying to find him. Jemima, I've forgotten her name. Jasmine was trying to find him. They can't find him anywhere. And then
some people think he's gone through the blood born curse. Some people think, Araya thinks no, he's too smart for that. He's still out there.
I think he's still out there. I do think he's still out there. I think he turned tail and ran when he clocked that something wasn't going right with
the losing side,
And that's it. We kind of see like this cute moment in front of the sun, and like she's looking at the sun saying, "Oh, it's beautiful," and then Rain says something really
Yes, because
cliche, like,
now that they've
"Yes, it
got the
is."
bonds, they've got more powers, they've got more of each other's powers, they've got each other's hair mark. They both got each other's hair mark. So I think Rain's was on the back and hers was on the front. So now they both have it on the back and front. And then now Rain can stand the sun. And now she's more vampire, so she likes to taste the blood. And then I think something else changed about her, but she's more vampire and he's more human now. So
and they can tell when each other's around and all that other stuff, and they could tell how each other's feeling now because of this bond. But yeah, so that's the end, guys. That's actually the end of the book. It doesn't really feel like an end. It feels really rushed, but we'll get into our last thoughts after some other reviews. Read receipts.
Okay, so this one is from Mia, and 1 star. Obviously, she said it did not give what it's supposed to give. Where is the angst, tension, revenge, betrayal, longing, groveling, yearning, pining? It's supposed to be enemies to lovers, but they don't stay enemies for long. They're back to being allies at 18% into the book. Yeah, Araya says she hates Rain, but it's all talk, no action. I was waiting for her to get her revenge, but it never happened, unfortunately. There weren't any really high stakes, so it just fell flat when they got together, and I felt nothing. After that, they're just effing, but not acknowledging their feelings, which I got tired of pretty quickly. Araya making him beg while they're having sex was not top tier groveling for killing his father, although she liked it. I thought that bit was so weird because whilst I was skimming, I saw that and I was like, oh, what is this S&M weird stuff going on?
It got very strange really quickly, yeah.
Although Mia likes it, it's not what groveling means in my book. His apology was a sorry, but he would do it again. So was it really an apology? It didn't make any sense that Rain only realized at the end of the book that he's in love with Araya. For example, this is from his point of view. I give you my body, my blood, my soul, my heart, and from the moment her tongue had touched my skin that night, the moment the words left my lips, I knew that I meant them. They were true, even if she didn't want them to be, even if she didn't return it, I was hers. Make it make sense, and I can give a million other reasons why this was bullshit. Oh, sorry. There's so many repetitive phrases, words, and events. How many times can one almost die in a book? A lot, apparently. I swear I read "There she is" every other chapter, and it was getting on my nerves. And this is just one example of many. His dead ex might as well be alive because she felt like a main character in this book. Her name was mentioned like every 5 seconds. We have these interludes that tell the story of how they fell in love. Who asked for that? Yeah, I didn't like that either. I didn't really care too much. Once I got the gist, I was like, okay, why do we keep going back to this? I don't need to humanize Nestlin because we never met her. As sure as F didn't want to read about it in detail. Book 1 was enough. Not only that, but he kept thinking and talking about her all the time. And he even had a dream about her towards the end of the book when he was basically dying and passed out. Side eye. Like, it's actually a very good point. Like, I'm sorry, whose love story is this supposed to be about? Imagine your man dying and he's dreaming about his ex and not about you. Smiley face, vomit face. No, thank you. So that took out the romance for me. His backstory still could have been sad and traumatic without the ex drama. I don't know why it was necessary. Or at least, because remember, he had a whole family.
Yes.
That's the whole reason why he turned, because he had a wife and kids. And we never hear about them.
He's actually a grown man.
Or at least make it believable that he no longer has feelings for his ex. I despise this trope to my core. And for the finale, after Rain got saved by a different goddess this time, how convenient. We got an underwhelming reunion and anticlimactic love declarations. I expected more. It was meh. The whole ending felt rushed. Also, the villains weren't really fleshed out, and plot-wise, nothing really surprised me. The only good thing about it was Vincent. I enjoyed his backstory. Yeah, me too. And Belle and Lilith were cute. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I didn't mind Belle, to be honest. This was my most anticipated read of the year, so the disappointment is real. Side note, English is not my first language, so don't come for me, please, which is why I was reading it like so choppy. But it reads amazing. So, and I agree with a lot she says. So
I fully agree with what she's saying. Everything she said, no notes. I fully agree. But unfortunately, now we're going on to a 5-star review. So Gillian rated it 5 stars. She says, she does some quotes as well. Yours, I ground out. It's yours. My blood, my body, my soul. I had given her all of that a long time ago. I had even given her my life, and I'll do it all again. That stuff. Okay. Let's just read. I love this book so much. This was an excellent action-packed romantic fantasy about grief, love, betrayal, family, and power. The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King follows Araya as she faces new challenges and grieves from the events of the first book. Araya and Rain must make an alliance in order to save her kingdom and her people. Rain, my downfall and my most valuable supporter, my weakness and my strength, my worst enemy and the greatest love I had ever known. That's something Araya says. Thoughts. I was completely transported into this brilliant world that the author created from the very first page. The plot was very interesting and I was engaged in the story the whole time. The pacing was perfect, although it is a bit slower than the first book, but I love that the author focused more on character development in this book. The world building was excellent and I loved learning about the world of vampires, gods, goddesses, magic and humans. This book had so many great tropes, including enemies to lovers, slow burn and one bed. Okay, don't know what that means. Next, characters. Araya. I love Araya. She's strong, brave, fierce, sassy, tenacious, stubborn, and will do anything to protect Rain and the people she cares about. Araya's character development was excellent. She grew so much, and learned more about herself and her powers. I'm so proud of her. Araya. She went through a great deal of hardship and grief in this book, but she came out the other side stronger. Rain. I'm in love with Rain. He's charming, very handsome. Don't know if he's handsome. Protective, stubborn, sweet, and will do whatever it takes to protect Araya. I love that even though Rain acted tough around other people, he was always so sweet and protective of Araya. And Mish, but okay. Rain's character development was great. I enjoyed learning about his past through his perspective and watching him as he faced new challenges. Vincent is such a complex character. He was ruthless, strong, stubborn, and made many mistakes, but at the same time, he loved Araya. He taught her to fight and protect herself, but he also kept her locked up. I love the side characters, especially Mish, Vale, and Lilith. Mish is sweet, bubbly, strong, loyal, and outgoing. I wish we saw more of Lilith and Vale. They are so cute together, and I love them so much. Romance. I love the romance between Araya and Rain. They fought for each other and understood each other. The chemistry and sexual tension was amazing. The slow burn was so good and I loved their banter. Okay. There were so many steamy scenes that had me blushing and smiling. There's a lot of exclamation marks in this review. Writing. The writing and storytelling was great. I felt like I was experiencing every event and emotion that the character felt. The writing was descriptive and easy to follow. The ending was so...
The description is crazy. Her description is... I've been trying not to interrupt.
Because I've been interrupted for the both of us. Where I've interrupted my own reading. I had to pause when she said the ending was so good. That's you know where you're just like, now I know you're lying.
Okay, yeah.
The ending was so good. I'm glad that Araya and Rain got the ending that they deserved. I can't wait to read the next book. Well, babes, the next book isn't going to be about them, but okay.
And that's why a lot of people didn't like the third book because they weren't expecting that harsh, nothing about it.
To be fair, we've got benefit of hindsight. Whereas, it's true. If they were, because I think this review's in 2023 when the book came out. I recommend this book to anyone who loves fantasy romance, enemies to lovers romance, great characters, slow burn, and awesome world building. Okay, babes. All right. If you say so.
Because I thought it was good world building, but I did not agree.
No, I don't.
I don't agree with anything she said.
No, and I really feel, so I guess we might as well get into our last thoughts because we're there. I really feel like the Araya from the first book, like, I don't know if I just want her to always be stressed, but it just makes sense the way she was. And I remember that's what got me into this series because I was just like, this is finally a character that makes sense.
Yeah, everything you liked about the first book just wasn't here.
Yeah, like all of a sudden she grows these weird powers. I don't even think I said in the plot points about the fact that she all of a sudden has this weird taste for blood and she loves sucking Rain's blood all of a sudden. Like she just gradually became more and more vampire now after her dad has died. Like, you know, when you just like, she didn't have any of those tendencies before. So why is it now? Because she's always been human/vampire. Why is it now that she's now got these weird tendencies? I don't know. I don't know. And I know you said before that you were like, you read this book ages before me and you were like, come on, Kim. It's because I just knew. It's probably because of also you saying that I knew it wasn't going to be good. It's kind of like when you're watching a sequel and you're just like, damn it, it's not as good as the first one.
And I would not have read this if it wasn't for you.
It's true.
I did not want to read it.
Yeah. Yeah, but I was just like, come on, Lola, we have to read the second half. We have to
Because
finish it.
I already knew, so I was just like, yeah, from the end, and I already knew where it was. I thought it would be more about Rain. Actually, I didn't think it would just be like a complete rehash of book one. I did appreciate though learning more about Vincent's backstory. I did like that, and hearing his reasons and why. And I think that was built up a lot, and she realized that okay, Vincent, a lot of people like Vincent. She kind of messed up killing him, so I think that's why she did that. But yeah, the rest of it, I just struggled.
You mean the author? The author had to. Yeah, I get what you mean. Because she probably wasn't expecting people to love him so much, so she's probably had to. Because I think that's probably why she had so much of his. This hallucination, him talking to her, Araya thing in the background, because we had that in the first book and she continued it in the second book, probably because we all were like, oh my gosh, where's Vincent? But yeah, it felt, I found this quite struggleville to finish, to be fair. And then the ending just pissed me off. Like, I was like, what? Is this it?
It was all pointless, yeah. I was like, whoa, what kind of journey was this? I did not enjoy this ride. Yeah.
Like, there was a war.
Pointless. Yeah.
And we just get to the end. We save Rain again. Like, this guy's a liability at this point. And then we just have a party to celebrate. We're now king and queen and everybody. We didn't even talk about the fact that you've now gotten rid of the Rishan and Hiaj line.
And everyone's okay with it.
And everybody's fine with this. Bear in mind that there are nobles on both sides.
Yeah, centuries of killing each other. Yeah.
Now we're supposed to just keep it moving. I was a bit like...
And then knowing that you're just not going to pick up this like story, that's it. This is supposed to be the end, and it's just ridiculous.
Because you had the hard copy book. Was it bigger than the first?
Yeah.
Okay.
But not by much.
Feel it though.
Like, yeah.
I feel like she could have done a lot more to round off the end. Like, I don't know, because the ending was a bit like, okay, there we go, finished, bye.
Yeah.
I was like, no, there's so many questions. I know people want to know about Mish, I guess, but can we finish what's happening here? Because we're never going to meet these people again.
I really didn't care for Mish that much to know that much. I was intrigued about the Shadowborn, but I thought we would expand gradually. I didn't really care for Mish that much to know that much.
And to be fair, even what are we expanding? He abused her, turned her, left her for dead. Rain picks her up. We move on. What are we expanding on Mish for? She was supposed to be this. I think she was supposed to be like a light-hearted character in the background. I don't know why she needs her own book, but
yeah,
who
exactly. She was never given main character.
No, and I think Vale and Lilith have a book. I think which people say is good. I think that's the Scorched Roses. I can't remember.
Oh, because she did you did half books. It does have decent range, right? Yeah.
So, but I don't know. The ending really annoyed me. The ending really, because I think I started to feel some hope when it started to ramp up with the plan to go to war. When she met Jasmine and they were planning to go to war. But then when they flopped so hard the first time round and ended up back in the human region, and then they met the aunt and all this other, I was just like, what's going on? What's going on here? So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so what are your last thoughts? Because I know you've got a what's that tool that you got, that book that you write in?
I didn't write too much about it because it was trashing it, so I just thought it was no, because I thought the writing style was bad as well, so it wasn't even just the content. I thought the writing style was bad, and I thought it was like sometimes people write books, like especially series, for moneymaker because they know people like completeness. So I thought this was just lazy writing. But I thought I said this was brutal. Why do the sequels always kill the things we like about the first book?
That's a bar.
Just because she's in love, like so jarring. I just thought this whole book was a dumb reimagination of book one.
Valid. I really feel like Araya's character just got demolished.
Yeah,
she completely got demolished. I feel like she should have become more hardened by the death of her dad, even if her dad was lying to her.
She literally could have been that girl from Empyrean. Like she became so typical. I was like, oh, what happened?
yeah, it was like all of a sudden, I love him. I can't do anything to hurt him. Why can't you though?
You're right.
Why can't
Like
you
he
hurt
just killed your
him?
dad. Are you all right?
He just killed your dad. Like you were just grieving him. And the fact that you even got Jessamine to start this battle and you now meet the enemy and you have him basically at gunpoint and you don't do anything to the point you get hurt again. Lord, that just pissed me off. So, okay, I can probably keep ranting and raving about how much this book pissed me off, but I'm sure you guys won't enjoy that very much. So we're going to go into...
Pick a mix time.
Give us a number and I will find us a topic to chinwag about. I guess it's
11.
1 to 12 now.
Oh. Hold on. That changes the game. 11.
Perfect. Okay. So, books versus movie adaptions is the topic for 11. What are your thoughts on when a book becomes a movie adaptation?
I don't mind it. A good example of one that I initially was like, what? And then I was like, you know what? I don't mind it. The Shining. The Shining is very different in the book compared to the movie. I think Stanley Kubrick and Stephen King have some beef because Stephen King tried to make his own version of The Shining to show what it should look like, and it's just so bad. Because like basically the Shining movie is like a Clockwork Orange kind of vibe, and it's not really supposed to be that. It's more supposed to be about psychological horror. There's no twins down the hallway in the book. There's none of that. Even just the room number is different. Like little things like that. I'm just like, why did they change it? So I was really adamant of being team book for that one. But over the years, I've learned to appreciate each one for what it is. So I think that was my thing.
So you've separated them from the book and the movie adaptation. Is that what you're saying?
If you've departed so far from the book, then I'll give you that grace. But if you're I'm trying to think of another example now. But if you're very similar and then you make subtle changes, like Hunger Games, or or Game of Thrones, where you delete key characters and then try and make it make sense with other characters, then that pisses me off. That still annoys me. Like, and also, I think my imagination is always better. Sometimes I watch stuff and I'm like, oh, my imagination was on point because this is how I envisioned it. But sometimes my imagination is a lot better. So personally, if I want to give a book, a film a chance that's based on a book, I have to watch the film first before I read the book.
Okay, I get what you mean.
Otherwise,
so
I'm just judging the film.
Basically.
Yeah, I'm just judging the film the whole time. If I do it the other way, what did I do it with recently? I did it with something recently, and I was like, oh wow, the movie was just use the book as a script. I'm trying to remember what it was, but I did it with something recently. I was like, they literally copied it word for word. Which isn't bad. I think that's sometimes, just play it out. Let's see it in real life. But like I said, my imagination is decent enough. Some people don't actually, like, if I say apple, do you see an apple?
Yeah.
Apparently, a good proportion of people don't see anything. So
you're saying their imagination might not.
Yeah.
They almost need the movie adaptation to bring the book to life, almost.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just boring to see because they're not seeing all the things that as they read that we would see.
To be fair, I feel that as well because I read more manga and watch more anime, and I have that frustration as well because even in that concept, you actually have the manga, it's art, it's drawings, and even then you still get to the anime and they've missed key parts out or they've moved things around.
It's funny you say that,
and
though,
I'm just like,
because sometimes the anime, I'm always team manga, you know that, I'm always team manga, but sometimes the anime is better because of the sounds and all of that stuff.
To be fair, and especially for action, for action anime, it's so much more important because some of when I'm reading it and you're just seeing bish bash bash and I'm like going over pages, I'm like, I don't know what's happening here. There's just bare lines.
Especially when it's especially just black block. Or like in webcomics, sometimes you're just scrolling and it's just white gaps and it's like, wait, is this an advert or what's going on?
At least with the anime, it makes sense. Like there's a blinding light or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I do get what you mean. Like it's just, but I also understand the concept of like when I was reading, and I know you're probably gonna think, oh, crying out loud, but when I was reading Fourth Wing, and I guess it's because of my imagination. Do you know what it is? I think if I was to make the movie adaptation, it would be amazing. That's basically
because of
what
your
I think in my head.
imagination. But that's why I don't think it needs to be done sometimes.
Yeah.
Like I feel like a lot of things these days are based off of a book. Like I was talking to someone about a book I'd read, and they're like, "Oh, that movie," and I didn't even know it was Killers of the Flower Moon, and I didn't even know it had been turned into a movie. And it's with like Leonardo DiCaprio. It has like big name. Robert De Niro had big names in there. That's like, oh, I might want to check it out.
To be fair, a lot of movies are based on books, aren't they? Because that's where you need that's where you get material from.
Yeah, that's originally where they got material from, tested and verified.
Yeah. So that does make sense. But no, okay, so controversial now, because I know you're probably going to roll your eyes all the way back. Would you watch a movie adaptation of these books, The Serpent, Satwan, and Usk?
Maybe because it's an action thing. Because Game of Thrones, I tried until I couldn't. So I tried because the books aren't that great anyway. So I mean, not like that. The books are decent enough for me to have like a good amount of the series. I think I've got up to the latest. But I don't think the books are like they're 3-star, 4-star. They're not amazing. But
so do you think that maybe somebody could do a bit more justice with the adaptation of this book, basically?
Yeah, if you make it a movie, if you don't make it a TV, because if you're not trying to, you could, and then hopefully, like if you get rid of all the silliness that she did with book 2, because I would like all of the vampire stuff and all of because like I said, her descriptions weren't good. Like you said, you didn't even know what the glass thing, the phone thing that she used to call Jasmine, you didn't even understand simple things like
phone thing. It's not a phone.
It was basically a phone. But like you didn't like certain things like that was hard. Like even in the first book, in the end of the Kajari, it was hard to really tell what was going on. I think her descriptions are bad. So
even the fact that the Bloodborns don't have wings.
Yeah, you didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
So I think a lot of things would make sense if you have like some of these new movies when they take on fantasies, it looks a bit too cosplay-ish. So I think you need a proper good, like someone that's done like something like Star Wars or someone that's done Harry Potter, like because that looks gritty. The realism is rather than the polish. I don't, because it's a vampire, like you said. When people think of vampire, so it could be done badly.
Yeah, because I'm worried that it would be like Twilight.
Yeah. So if they make it actually gritty, like believable, like literally. Because
it has to be gritty, especially the first book. The way it starts, I was like, this is amazing. This is exactly what I expect.
Raw, yeah.
Just vampires just bopping about, just killing humans off because that's the best blood. Like
you need a really good director that like can handle dark, gritty, and like still make it because it's a romance.
Yeah, it's true. That's the other thing. You would have to. I just want the romance to be believable. So to be fair, they would have to almost be like, "Thank you so much, Carissa, for your book. We are going to take that away and rewrite it."
Yeah,
that's literally what would have to happen, especially for the second book.
So for the second book, the first book not so much. They could literally just edit down and like all the silliness. But
because the Kajari, to be fair, I think watching that, would be quite interesting. Yeah, because there's a lot of stuff that she explains that I'm like, why is this important? But I think if it was visual, you'd probably like, that makes sense.
Because I'm thinking like, I think you said it in one of the reviews, The Hunger Games. So The Hunger Games, I do prefer reading it. Like I said, because I watched it first and it took me ages to read it because I was like, oh, this is insufferable. But actually, I was able to watch more of the movies because I read the books, because the books are so much better. So I think, I would watch the movies because I would understand. No, because I don't like the books on. This isn't good. But I think basically the books, the movie, I don't know.
Oh, I
It
think
all
I would
depends on
watch
the
it.
director. It all depends on
I
that.
think,
Would you have
you
watched
know
it
me,
without
I'm a
reading it?
glutton for punishment.
If you
Hmm?
had just seen this story, would you have? Do you
Oh,
watch vampire movies?
I don't think I would. I would
'Cause
need to watch a good trailer.
I didn't watch or read Twilight.
I read Twilight and I
Oh,
watched
really?
Twilight and I think the book was much better. The adaptation was nonsense.
I
Lord,
think I
when
remember bits actually, because I remember glistening
yeah,
skin, and I remember it's supposed to look
glistening
like.
skin and their eyes, those contact lenses.
Maybe I did read the
You
first
did.
book.
I think you did. I feel like you would have because you read.
I think I did because I remember thinking, yeah, this isn't how I thought it was supposed to look.
No. And I really enjoyed her as an author. I even read some of her other books about
Oh, really?
she wrote quite a good book about it was like about they lived in some like desert and there was this thing that used to get implanted in their head. Boy, I'm probably making this up. But I quite enjoyed her as an author. But then when I watched that movie, she lost me, boy. Stephanie Meyers, is that her name? I think it's Stephanie Meyers.
But sometimes the
Lost
author
me.
has no say. Look at, like I said,
It's
Stephen
true.
King and Stanley Kubrick were beefing because once they get
you're
the
right,
rights, they're
true.
like, yeah, it's mine now. It's my artistic
Yeah.
license.
It's very true.
She probably hates it just as much.
It's true. But yeah, so
but I find
I don't know.
more and more these days, I'll finish a book and then it's being turned into a movie. I find it's
Quickly,
very,
isn't it?
Yeah, it's very movies are very like it's the art the age of nostalgia. So like they either get books back from the back in the day or books that are like cult classics or whatever. But I find like they're very lazy for material. A lot of books are being turned into movies now.
Things that are being redone and stuff like that. They're struggling at the moment.
Live action versions of cartoons, and the whole point of it being a cartoon is for a reason. Like, and you get rid of all of that. So,
do you think also like authors are starting, especially the new age authors, do you think they have that in mind when they're writing books?
I do think so.
I want this to become a movie.
I do think so. You can read a book and you can say, oh, they wanted this to be into a TV show, because obviously that extends their money. So I feel like you read certain books and like, oh, they knew what they were doing. They hoped that this was going to be a TV show or a movie. I think some of them, a lot, like, not Handmaid's Tale. I love Margaret Atwood, but like those type of books, they're like, oh, I can be like Handmaid's Tale. But like you see these, you read books and you're like, oh, they're trying to get. What book did I see that I read?
I think that's like the Fourth Wing and Them series. I think she's written that in the hope that it
will turn into Game of Thrones kind of thing. Yeah.
I think she has.
Same, because I could see it in that Game of Thrones style as well with the dragons and stuff. Yeah,
because I've even seen her do some interviews where I think she talks about that as well. So I'm like, that seems quite quickly to be talking about. Like, it just feels very quick from writing a book to this.
There's a book, Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo or something like that, and that's been turned into a Netflix adaptation. So I think there's a lot of things getting picked up by Netflix too. So there's a lot of options. Like, you don't have to be just on
and Prime.
And Prime. You don't. Wheel of Time's on Prime. So you don't have to be like waiting for TV or big like Hollywood. You can get on these. So they're trying to get it more and more. But you're right. I think Fourth Wing was definitely trying to get some of that Game of Thrones money.
Get your bag, like, and I would be happy to see a dragon.
And everything happens in waves. When there was all the vampire movies, and then there was all the zombie movies like Walking Dead and stuff. So go on, try and bring
let's get some dragons running around. So that was quite a good conversation, because I always think sometimes like, no, adaptions, but sometimes adaptions do help. And I agree that sometimes, and I would probably still watch this duo's book. This book's
it would depend on the casting, I think.
Oh yes, you're right.
Yeah, it would depend on the casting. If they get an insufferable person to be that,
almost need unknown people.
I don't think anyone I in my head can play in my head right now. Maybe I'm just not thinking too hard about it, actually. That's a harsh thing to say.
What about I was gonna say the girl that plays Wednesday, but I don't know. Even her.
I don't know.
No. Yeah, no, it has to be somebody that we don't know. All of them.
And what about Rain? Rain is too hard with that ginger black hair. Like, oh,
And he's supposed to be quite hench, isn't he?
Yeah, tall and hench, like
almost
abnormally
like
tall
beastly.
and hench. Yeah.
So yeah,
Hagrid's.
Yes, basically. That's what I had in my head with red hair.
Yeah.
Vincent, I don't know. It has to be. It would have to be unknown
I'm picturing
people.
some long silver hair or whatever, long blonde hair. One of those Draco
Like
Malfoy
sharp
dads.
nose, and his hair's slicked back, isn't it? Like, and then it's long. Yeah. And he's always pristine.
Yeah, I can picture Vincent.
Nothing out of place.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting. I don't know if she will get an adaptation because I haven't heard the talks for her.
To be honest,
but I wouldn't be surprised.
Ringing bells. Fourth Wing outshadowed it because Fourth Wing came
definitely.
out after this. So Fourth Wing outshadowed it. What's it before? And so everyone talks about Fourth Wing and Akata. That's all you see.
Yeah.
Fourth Wing and Akata.
You should see the memes and gifts and stuff that come up about. There's one about it's about this book, and I was cracking up because I wish I said it to you. The way they did it was basically about Araya's flip from being like, I hate you, to I love you. And I was just like, yes, it was just like that. It was just like that. But yeah, so we'll see.
Literally having sexy time in the pool while other people are in there showering. Ridiculous.
I was listening to, that was the other thing about the second book. That's how you know I wasn't really enjoying it, because I was forcing myself to finish it to record this episode. So I was listening to it as an audiobook, and I was listening to this and I was just like, hold on, isn't Vale in the sauna with you guys?
Literally right in the corner in my head.
What's happening?
They did say it's like a big cave, but I was like, you guys
but he's definitely here.
Yeah, he's famous. They were all there. They were all in there getting clean. Like, ridiculous.
I was just like,
and the natural hot springs.
And then all of a sudden we're transported to like another scene. Like, you're just like, hold on, what happened? Or maybe I skipped.
The pacing, no. The pacing was horrible. I saw someone else say that in the review. The pacing was ridiculous. It's like, and then look at the ending, ridiculous. And
it feels like
knowing that that's the end is silly.
Yeah, it feels like it got to a certain point and somebody said, all right, babes, we need to speed up. Because there was a point, it was really slow in the beginning, and then all of a sudden just I'm like, they're finished.
They was basically just filling in the gaps for the 90% of the book, like explaining everything, like why things made sense, how we got here, basically. And then and I get it now that, like, finding out that it's supposed to wrap up loose ends, but you're supposed to do it at the end, wrap up loose ends.
Yeah, definitely. We've now got more. I've got more loose threads.
Literally, you had you feel like you wasted your time, I think.
Yeah. And it did make me think, do you know what? Like, when you said about the next book to read, I was like,
I'm glad
we're moving on to something else.
I can naturally break away. Yeah, I can actually break away. Yeah.
Maybe I'll come back at some point, but at this point, I'm glad to move. I wasn't even thinking, let's go on to book 3, 4, 5. I was like, no. Let's just move on to something else now. So I hope you enjoy that. I love catching up with my sister about these things. So this is the end of episode 2B. Please share, like, subscribe, follow on all our platforms. Our Instagram will be in our description. Follow over there. Comment. If you're on Spotify, you can always comment. I think you can comment on Apple as well. Do comment about how you feel about our reviews and also how you feel about the book. You can follow us also on Goodreads if you want. Just let us know if you want to follow us there. But otherwise, we will see you in the next episode where we will be talking about, what's the book we're talking about, Lola?
Perennicy, Susan Clark.
Perfect. And I'm actually quite excited to read this book. I think I can get it on my Kindle.
Nice, short and sweet. It's actually very,
Yeah, I'm quite excited to just have something fresh, like, to get me in, like, out of this romance fantasy genre.
Or Perennicy.
I wish you guys could see what she was doing to just, like, almost help her, like, pronounce it. There was, like, the movement.
Anyway.
Kudos.
Bye.